What's going on, everyone? So I wanted to do a little bit of update on my pricing. I just kind of revamped everything because we're heading out of summer, and from my experience, at least where I'm at, May, June, and July are pretty busy. August is kind of up and down. September is a little slow, and then it gets busier towards the holidays. So something that the company I used to work for that did the junk removal as well as moving, they would do a similar concept, and I know another company out here does the same thing too, where in the summer they'll up their prices a little bit to match other competition, and then in the rest of the year they kind of drop down a little bit to a more reasonable rate. So I did a similar fashion, and I did it for other reasons too. I'm not going to get into, but I'm going to go over some categories real quick to see if any of this stuff's going to pique your interest. If it doesn't, you can click off. But if you hear something that's like, huh, that might be interesting, stick around. I don't know how to do timestamps, so I'm just gonna tell you categories, and hopefully something here pertains to you, and you find some interest out of it. But I'm gonna be talking about minimum pickups and single items, my trailer loads as far as the increments go, and time relating to that, surcharges, complexity of jobs, and then my junk labor. So first off, I just want to say, I know in my last couple of videos I mentioned that July was kind of slow for me. It was slow in a sense of volume and consistency. So when I have like a job every single day, I consider that to be busy. July was my most highest gross income month that I've had since I started business. Like it's doubled or tripled my other busier months. So, and that's because I had a lot of large jobs, and then I had a lot of full trucks. I had that office job, I had that big construction job last week. So all that combined, I've had a really high income month. But I've also had like 2 days off here, a day off here, 3 days off there, and for me, that's being slow. So just a quick little disclosure there. I wasn't complaining that I was slow. I was just saying that, for me to not have, for me not to stay busy, I guess, means that I'm slow. I digress. But minimum pickups. So my minimum pickup is less than $100. I know 1-800 got junk around here is $158 year round, and that could be for one box. They're gonna charge you $158. Mine is a little under 100. It used to be a little over 100. It used to be behind like 100 125 to give you a range. But it was also because that's when I used to use the U-Hauls. So for me to go rent a pickup truck or a cargo van or a 10-foot truck to do anything less than 100 just wasn't worth it. And I kind of just kept it around that when I got the truck and trailer. And I haven't really had any issues. But it's just something that's kind of just getting tied in. So now it's a little less than 100, but I did separate my three main items. So the three most common things I take away when it comes to like small pickups is mattresses, couches, and love seats. So I went ahead and priced them all individually. So for mattresses only, just a mattress, for a twin and full, it's one price. For a queen and then a king, they're two separate prices. Not super big. At the end of the day, only the king is a few bucks over my original minimum. Now, this is to say that if they don't have a box spring, like a box spring is not included in that price. I only do like a $15 extra if it's a box spring. And the only reason I charge a low extra for that is if you kind of pin them up in the trailer, it's basically an eighth of a truck. So it's just a little extra just to kind of go with volume. And then if they're going to be adding in the frame and everything, at that point, I just consider it part of a load. So it doesn't get that individual pricing anymore. The next common thing is a love seat. Now, I get love seats in like a 3-seater couch in like a combination a lot. Like a lot. Now, I used to just group them together, and I did like my minimum plus like 30 or $40. So they're getting a great deal. Because if you were to compact the two pieces together, it's probably a quarter of a truck in my trailer. So you're getting a deal on it. But my love seat is set at a price a little bit more than what the king size mattress is. And then my sleeper sofa is like $20 more. And then if I do a 3-seater couch, it's a little bit more expensive than a love seat. If it's a sleeper, it's additional $20 more. And then if it's a sectional couch, it just gets grouped in as a load because at that point it's going to be at least a quarter or more. As far as my trailer prices go, I did increase my increments from 5 to 8. So now I have my minimum, which I usually use a truck for. I have an eighth, a quarter, 3/8, half, 5/8, 3/4, 7/8, and a full. Before I used to just do an eighth, quarter, half, 3/4, and full. So I'm kind of expanding the possibilities of it. And with each load, I have a typical time increment that I anticipate on that load taking. So it goes in 15-minute increments. I know like the national average is about 2 hours to fill up a truck. So I keep that number because that's, in my experience, has been about what it is. And every single increment is about 15 minutes. So for a quarter truck, I should be able to load that in 30 minutes. Half a truck, an hour. 3/4 a truck, an hour and a half, and so on. And that'll come in handy when we get to surcharges. Now, for my bed load pricing for construction, I did recently stop taking tile, granite, concrete, marble, anything real heavy that adds up in weight excessively, because my trailer is not meant to hold that much weight. And that last construction job was just a nice little reminder of it. Nothing bad happened, but it's just, like I bed loaded it as is, and then my trailer was like 3,400 pounds, and it's not meant to hold that much. So it was just something to kind of like a realization, like, okay, we need to like tone this back a little bit. So I'm sticking to just light debris like wood, drywall, the shelves of cabinets, stuff like that. And it's priced exactly the same as my trailer, but only in quarter, half, 3/4, and full prices. And then I did include this. I've always done this, but I'm using this as like a special. So a post-move box removal. So say someone moves in, they have a garage full of boxes. I'll fill the trailer as is, but if they're all empty, I'll give them a 20% discount, because I already know that it's going to be easy to load, it's going to be easy to offload, and the weight is going to be low for the disposal fee. But I'm not going to be breaking the boxes down. I used to break the boxes down, and it just takes excessive time. So they can break it down if they want, otherwise I'm taking it as is. But it needs to be something that's done before I get there. And then for cleanouts, it's basically just my full load price plus a $25 material charge as like a mandatory thing. And then for my surcharges, for appliances, like large appliances like refrigerator, stove, dishwasher, dryer, I charge a small amount. For chemicals, I used to take bulk chemicals as long as it wasn't gasoline, oil, coolant, freon, stuff like that, or anything of like highly toxic. Now I bring a tote with me, similar to this one. It's like 3 cubic feet, and I say, hey, any chemicals you have, I'm gonna put in this tote. The lid needs to be able to close because I don't want anything spilling out in my trailer. It needs to be able to close. The chemicals themselves cannot be leaking out because I don't want to have to sit there and wash out the chemical tote every time I do a job. And it can't be of the following stuff I don't normally take. And then I do a small fee to do that, because I'm going to have to go there on my own time with my truck only, take all my magnets off because they don't like junk removal companies doing this. And I'm going to have to go to the chemical recycling center and dispose of it on my own time. So it's just a small low charge. And then this is my more recent updated section that I've included, and it's job complexity. Now, this is something that I kind of got from the moving company. When they do their estimates, they have breakdowns of everything and how many flights of stairs they have, how far away do you have to park, do you have a long walk from the truck to the apartment or the house. These are all factors that they include in their time and their estimates. So I'm not super set in stone with it. I don't know how strict I'll be, but I'm thinking of doing it in a way to kind of help keep from taking away so much from my load sizes. So like if you do a full load and you count in like, oh, it took me a few extra minutes, but it's okay, it's part of the job. Or, oh, I had to go up and down 3 flights of stairs by myself and take all this big heavy stuff, and now I'm drained. Like, it's fine, it's part of the load. You keep doing that and doing that and doing that, and you take away from your load, you're killing your profit, or you're killing yourself to make that profit. So I'm going to charge for 3 things. If I have to park far away from the house, let's say it's, let's say there's a bunch of contractors there and I have to park 5 houses away just to find a parking spot to be able to load up, I may charge a flat fee for that. And it's not a big fee, it's a small amount. It's just something to kind of add to the bill. or to add a profit, I guess. Long walks, which are mainly probably going to be apartment buildings. If I have to go from here to this elevator and go all the way back multiple times, I may do a small charge in addition to time. And then flights of stairs. This I'll have to play around with. But let's say I have to go up and get a sleeper sofa on the 3rd floor. All that extra energy to sit there and go down with a hand truck 3 flights of stairs with this heavy ass piece, I may charge a certain amount per each flight of stairs. So that's something I'll play around with, but we'll see how it works out. And then junk labor. I've always done this, but let's say someone rents a dumpster or a trailer, because instead of having a company come out and do it, I offer labor services. So I'll do a small transport fee, and then I'll come out and do the loading for you at an hourly rate. So nothing has really changed there. Materials, I still charge for bags. I'll charge for a large box instead of a bag, because I don't want to load up a bag full of glass or dishware or heavy tools or something that's going to tear it and break. And then my speed packs I'll usually use for cleanouts. And then aside from the typical stuff, I did remove a service. So included in junk labor, let's say you live at a complex where you have a dumpster on site that allows residents to drop off bulk furniture. Let's say they have a sleeper sofa, or let's just say they have a couch they can't bring up by themselves. Let's say it's a single lady or like an older lady or an elderly person, whatever. They can't bring it up by themselves. They don't have any friends to help them. I'll come out and I'll bring it out for them and leave it at the bulk dumpster. And I'll do it for like a discounted price from what my minimum pickup would be. And the reason it's a more discounted price is I don't have to drive it to the dump. I don't have to pay for that fee, and I don't have to use the gas to travel around with it. I am keeping that in, but something I'm not doing anymore is I used to, and I've done a few jobs. Let's say they allow bulk dumping and I get approval from the HOA or the front desk, whoever. Let's say you're cleaning out multiple rooms. I would transport that stuff from the apartment or the house to that dumpster on site for the bulk dumping and just run trips back and forth. And it works out in theory, and I've done a couple of jobs. I've also had a couple of issues though. So it's more of a risk for potential people not liking what you're doing, or I've had the front desk say it's okay, and then the maintenance come out and say, what the hell are you doing? I'll ban you from here if I see you doing it again. And it's I had permission, but okay. So it's just something I'm kind of canceling out altogether. I'd rather just do the job as is. And I'd rather not spend, the time doing it. I'd rather just keep it with the trailer. So those are just kind of my updates. Maybe something kind of stood out to you and you're like, okay, that would kind of make sense and that would apply. If you learned nothing, I'm sorry. But if you did, maybe you liked the video. I've been kind of doing a lot of marketing lately, and this whole week's going to be a lot of marketing. So today I went by and did all my assisted livings and dropped off the new rate cards with the updated prices. All this week I'm going to be going by apartment buildings in each city and just dropping off cards and flyers and asking about vendor positions for basically anything that has a front desk, And then he's sticking out as far as I am. Nice. I'm sticking out super far in this parking lot because my hitch sticks out 14 inches. I have a car right behind me on the line. Anyways, and then at nighttime I'm going to be going by storage units and putting signs out, whether it's on the poles or in the grounds. I've tried doing marketing in the storage units and they're all hit or miss with the vendors. A lot of them don't let you leave cards behind. So I did find that you can leave signs up around storage units and they stick around for a while. So I'm going to be doing that at nighttime. And then that'll kind of clear off my marketing for this quarter. And I won't revisit it until probably right after Halloween or early November. I'll go by with a holiday specials. I did it last year too. So that's it for me. Hopefully something in here helps you. Maybe you're like, oh, I never thought about that, and you try it. It makes you more money. But that is it for me. Thank you.